But as Kamala said, we're all closely monitoring the storms.
The White House says Republicans are faking outrage on this issue. Why shouldn't Americans be outraged about classified documents being found in a garage?
Look, and I think I've been very clear about this. We have answered questions on this at this podium. You've heard, as Phil was saying, twice from the president talk about this. He said that he didn't know. Right? He said that he was surprised, and he said that he takes classified information and documents very, very seriously. We heard directly from the president on this issue.
I guess that's why I'm asking, though, because you've said that you don't want to interfere here and be prudent about the process. But the White House did post a statement saying that Republicans are faking outrage. So to that point, why shouldn't Americans be upset about documents found in a garage?
That's for the American people to decide, right? That is for you all, or I'm sure going to talk to many folks out there.
What does the president mean when he said no regrets? Because he's also said he takes very seriously the handling of classified documents. So I'm unclear what he means about no regrets.
So I'm not going to comment further from what the president has said yesterday. I think he laid out his thoughts. He was asked about it. He laid out his thoughts of whatever question he was asked. I'm not going to get into specifics, or I'm not going to go beyond what the president has said. But I will reiterate from here that and basically what he said to all of you many times at this point, that he does indeed take classified information, and seriously, he does indeed.
We immediately turned them over to the archives of the Justice Department. We're fully cooperating, looking forward to getting this resolved quickly. I think you're going to find there's nothing there. I have no regrets. I'm following what the lawyers have told me they want me to do. It's exactly what we're doing. There's no there. Thank you. All right.
Shed light on was he referring to sort of the rollout of the information, or about the timeline, or I'm just unclear about what he's not regretting.
And Kelly O, I totally understand the question. I totally understand why you may want clarity here, but I'm going to be prudent.
One clarification, if I can, on the president's answer yesterday to the documents. He said in that answer that he is doing everything that attorneys are asking him to do, so his protocol and everything. Was his answer vetted through counsel or anything like that? Can you tell us that?
I mean, it's the same thing that he has said before, which is he and his team are cooperating fully. That's the same answer he has given many times, and so has his White House counsel's office. Is that his and his team
talking about it in the way that he did?
That's nothing new. He has said that before, but again, I'm not going to parse the words of the president. It is, you heard him say what he gave his remarks and make his statement. I'm just not going to dive into that.
Back on what you said in your answer to Josh about the debt ceiling and the question of entitlements. The Nonpartisan Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget said in the fall that what the president was arguing in the lead up to midterms was that Republicans would cut Social Security, cut Medicare, but the president was not offering his own specific plan for how to ensure the stability of those programs. There were a few sentences on the campaign website 3 years ago. Does the president have a plan to ensure that Social Security and Medicare will remain solvent in the future? This is now the halfway point of this administration.
The president's plan is that he's going to protect Social Security. Because they want to play this political gamesmanship, and that is something that we're going to call out.
My question, though, is what they say is that Medicare in 3 to 5 years will not be able to meet all of its obligations. Social Security, 12 years, will not be able to meet all of its obligations. The president's been president for 2 years. He hopes to be president for 6 more years. When is he going to lay out a specific plan? Will we hear it at the State of the Union? Will it come in 2023?
What we're saying is, and I just said this, these are programs that the American people pay into. When you have these MAGA Republicans in the House who are saying they're going to hold the debt ceiling, unless those things are cut, that is a problem.
Does the president have any concern about the number of job cuts that are happening in the tech sector? Alphabet announced, it's Google's parent company, obviously announced 12,000 job cuts today, follows Microsoft earlier this week, following several thousand from last year as well. Is this something the president is concerned about?
Data points exist. We're seeing that. Layoffs remain record low, according to job opening data. All right, happy 2-year anniversary to us. Anyway, all right, today marks 2 years since President Biden and Vice President Harris were sworn in, including 750,000 manufacturing jobs. The unemployment rate is near a 50-year low.
And on the chart, there are two headings there that say record healthcare enrollment. One says 11 million, nearly 11 million. The other says nearly 15.9. What's the difference?
That's a good question. I would have to ask our team. I'm going to be very, very honest with you. Together. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
You told me 6 times that turned out to be false. Are you sorry about that?
I'll see you tomorrow. Come talk to me.
Are you upset that you came out to this podium on Friday with incomplete and inaccurate information? And are you concerned that it affects your credibility up here?
Well, what I'm concerned about is making sure that we do not politically interfere in the Department of Justice, that we continue to be consistent over the last 2 years. And
I just want to ask you about something you said last week. Last week you were pretty insistent that you believed that the president's attorneys did the right thing. Do you still believe that?
Yes, they did the right thing.
The reason I ask is that what we now know, the president's counsel statement, the president's personal lawyer statement, shed a bit more light on this, but they raise more questions. Namely, the first call that the president's personal attorneys made on November 2nd was not to the FBI that they had found what we now know were top secret documents out in the open. The first call was to officials here at this White House in the West Wing. How is that the right thing? Isn't that the right thing when you see if you're a lawyer and you don't have a security clearance and you see a classified document, shouldn't you call the Justice Department's National Security Office right away?
Again, I'm going to refer you to the White House counsel's office. That is something for them to answer.
It was about a half hour, but let me widen out. Why is it the matter of this White House counsel to deal with documents from 2 administrations ago? We're not talking about presidential records from this White House. Why is this White House counsel involved in this matter at all?
Again, this is something for the White House counsel to address. I'm not going to address that from here. I will refer you to them, and I will refer you to the special counsel.
Since so many of our questions have been referred to the DOJ and to the White House counsel's office, I'm sure you can understand that we're in sort of information blackout where DOJ refers us to the special counsel. They're not holding any briefings. White House counsel refers us to DOJ. So if you are not able to talk about this from the podium, would you invite a DOJ official to take our questions here to the briefing?
No, you would have to go to the Department of Justice. That is not, this is a legal matter.
I want to reference an interview that President Biden did mid-September with 60 Minutes. And in that interview, he chided former President Trump for having in his possession classified documents. He called it irresponsible. First of all, do you think it was proper for President Biden to comment on an ongoing DOJ investigation? Simply asking you to comment on the person that you work for.
I just commented. We're moving on. Go ahead. No, go ahead. I already answered your question. Go ahead.
You really didn't.
Well, I did.
No, you didn't.
Well, it's your opinion. It's your opinion. It's your opinion. That is your opinion. Go ahead.
Why then did the White House counsel go to Wilmington to facilitate the handing over of documents to the DOJ? How is that separate? How is that separating the White House from the DOJ?
And Weijia, I appreciate the questions. I know there's going to continue to be dozens more questions probably today, and I will say, reach out to the White House counsel's office.
It's related to something that you keep telling us, which is how much it is important to this White House to separate the White House from the DOJ's investigation. But the White House counsel was the one to go and facilitate the documents, to look for the documents.
Again, they have been working very closely with the Department of Justice. I would refer you to them. Guys, you guys can ask me this 100 times, 200 times if you wish. I'm going to keep saying the same thing. I hear your question. It's been asked. It's been answered. It's been noted. And we're just going to try to move on here. And we're going to move on. One more, because Ian did have that call